Fine. We'll come back with a positive New York Rangers video, because the other day we did talk about how debatably the biggest mistake the Rangers made was not re-signing Patrick Kane, but of course we devils advocated for both sides in that conversation. But what I wanted to also turn to was a conversation we had 3 weeks ago talking about how Igor Shesterkin was literally the worst goalie in the NHL for the month of January. And that was not a cop-out, that was not a proclamation, that was not hyperbole. That was literally the case based off of some of the statistical models that we had seen posted all over social media in regards to NHL performance in the month of January. Igor Shesterkin was not good, he was literally the worst guy there. And so, I am very, very happy to be going out there and saying that when it comes to Igor, my favorite Tyler, the Creator album, as well as goaltender for the New York Rangers, everything has been going right ever since this video. Because if you take a look at what Igor was able to do in the recent week to end off this most recent stint in February, he was named the third star of the week yesterday with his 3-game played performance, 3-0 record, and 1.00 goals against average, not to mention his .975 save percentage in these 3 games played. Igor Shesterkin, of course, bouncing back from a bad January with a pretty good 1 week in February. Sure, you could say it's not like the most equal thing, but if you're a star goaltender in the NHL, you don't want to be labeled as the worst goaltender in the month. You want to be able to prove your worth, and that is exactly what Igor has been able to do. Let's go over onto the NHL's 3 Stars of the Week article and read what they have to say about Igor. They also talk about Kirill Kaprizov and Mitch Marner. Take a look to the third place conversation here. Shesterkin made a league-high 119 saves and 122 shots against, going 3-0-0 with a 1 goals against average and a .975 save percentage to lift the Rangers within 1 point of first place in the overall NHL standings. Still behind Vancouver, I'm pretty sure. He stopped 41 shots, including all 17 he faced in the third period, in a 3-1 win versus the Dallas Stars February 20th. Shesterkin then made 39 saves in each of his next 2 starts, a 5-1 triumph over the Devils February 22, and a 2-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers February 24th, during which the Rangers tied a franchise record with their 10th consecutive victory dating to January 27th, and the 28-year-old Shesterkin, who has won 6 straight games dating to February 9th, with a 1.84 goals against and .951 save percentage and 1 shutout, shares 5th place in the league with 25 victories through 38 total appearances this season. His total numbers are now at a .909 save percentage, a .270 goals against, and a 25-12-1 record. So, Igor, if you go over to the total numbers that are put out here, that's exactly what we had talked about, .909 save percentage, 38 games played, but in his recent 5 games, he's gone with a .958 save percentage and a what's the math on that? 8 divided by 5. That's a 1.6 goals against average in the last 5 games, and in his last 10 games, a .922 save percentage, and what is that? 24 goals against in 10 games. So do the math, that is a 2-point-something goals against, right? 2 point whatever, it's small. But either way, Igor Shesterkin has gone out there and pretty much shed away that reputation of being the worst goalie in January, and I don't want to say reputation as if like, oh, you know, everybody was thinking about it. Like, Rangers fans knew. Rangers fans were saying, yeah, he's had a rough month. It was really bad for Igor. He's been off his game. We're not really worried, but we do acknowledge that things have not looked great. And now he's back in full swing and everything is going right, which is all you could really be asking for when it comes to Igor Shesterkin. He's one of the top goalies in the world. Everybody knows this, and Rangers fans are just happy to see him showing that once again. Now, because we are on the Rangers sub, what I also wanted to do was talk about a guy who's been pretty popular the past little while, and we haven't made any videos about him yet. I didn't really see too much of an angle here, but what I also wanted to talk about is this guy right here on the sidebar. Let's talk about the newest, hottest Rangers forward, a guy who's gone out there and really put his name on the map, Matt Rempe. 21-year-old center, 6'8", 240 pounds, a right-handed guy who was drafted by New York in the 6th round in the 2020 NHL Draft. He has made an impact with this team after just being a Seattle Thunderbirds guy a few years ago. Even last year, he played for the Hartford Wolfpack, only had 10 points in 53 games played. He had 12 points in 43 games played this year. But playing with the New York Rangers, he got the call-up. He started out in the Stadium Series game. He had a fight against Matt Martin, and he put on a show. He's 6'8", 240, and he is a total brawler. If you go over to his game log, he's only played 5 games. He's got a goal and an assist. He scored a goal against Philadelphia. He scored an assist against Columbus. But in each of these games, except for the Dallas one, he has registered a whole bunch of penalty minutes. 5 minutes for fighting in New York, 5 minutes for fighting and some other stuff in New Jersey, 5 minutes for fighting in Philadelphia, 5 minutes for fighting in Columbus. And the crazy part is, you hear 5 minutes for fighting, you know, oh yeah, what are these fights? No, this guy is going out there and giving us prize fights. This is like 2-minute whatever slobber knockers going out there. He's wailing and wailing with his hits and punches, and the other guys are coming back and throwing their fists towards his face as well. This guy is a total prize fighter. And you know what he reminds me of? Especially since he's a part of the New York Rangers. I saw this comparison made on Twitter a few times, but if you've been on YouTube, NHL gaming YouTube in particular, and you've seen the Johnny Superbman Live the Life series with General Zod, this is exactly what we are seeing with Matt Rempe, a guy who was taken in the later parts of his NHL draft, who played his way up, who was in the AHL, and who found himself onto an NHL lineup just by chance, and who's made the best out of it. He's gone out there with huge fights continuously over and over and over again. He's starting to score some points. I don't think Matt Rempe was scouted by anybody to being like a pretty big point producer, but still, having 2 points in 5 games played is pretty cool. But the real value that he provides in terms of this sport of hockey is the entertainment, the physicality, the punches. I mean, sure, he had a hit on Nate Bastian that was not good. That's kind of why he was taken out. But yeah, that's aside here. He has 32 penalty minutes in 5 games played, which is just so crazy to see out of a guy who has taken over the headlines pretty much as the newest NHL, not even really like star. He's just a guy. And honestly, like if you take a look at some of the updates, this is why I wanted to make this video too, because when it comes to Matt Rempe, of course, he's 21 years old. I do just want to send a little bit of a word of caution, not of course because he needs it from me, like nobody's going out there and listening to these videos if you're actually in the NHL, but take a look at the newest update we have seen. It looks like the punches are starting to add up on Matt Rempe's face. This was posted onto the Our Hockey sub, and this is the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I mean, he's got a purple eye, he's got kind of a banged up face a little bit. This is one of these things where we recognize the entertainment value out of the playstyle he has, but Matt Rempe, please try to be careful, dude. Like, we've seen NHL athletes go out there and have their careers ended by continuous hits to the head and punching and fighting and whatever. It was not really that big of a deal a few years ago, but I think as of the past few decades, we've really started to come down and acknowledge that this is a side effect of what this play style entails. So for Matt Rempe, of course, while it's entertaining as all heck to see the guy go out there and fight every single game, just be careful. Try not to put yourself in a position that holds you back from being able to live your life post-hockey, because that still is supposedly a huge part of an NHL player's life. Like, your time spent in the National Hockey League will be a fraction of what the rest of your life entails. But of course, you know, I'm not an NHL athlete. I'm not Matt Rempe. I don't know what the guy's thinking. I don't know what the guy is going through. So obviously, all we can do as fans is just appreciate the athleticism and the, what's the word, the gladiator qualities that Matt Rempe brings to the game, because man, oh man, has it been a blast to watch. Not really the most let's say, healthy thing you would proclaim for Rempe himself, but it's entertaining. And that's altogether what hockey is about, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, about Igor Shesterkin and his huge bounce back this recent February, as well as Matt Rempe and his crazy bursting onto the scene for the New York Rangers. What are your thoughts on both of these guys and their performances? What are your thoughts on Rempe and the punches that he's started to take and how they're starting to swell up around his eye area there? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.